Welcome back to Breakfast Central, and it's time for us to look through the newspapers. Of course, we'll be starting with our first paper for this morning, and the first paper is The Star. On the front page of The Star, Uhuru's delicate balancing act in his final holiday. Uhuru's delicate balancing act in his final holiday. President expected to dwell on legacy transition at Madaraka Day. Celebrations coming at a time he does not see eye to eye with Ruto. The details of that story on pages 4 and 5 of The Star. Kenyatta unveils refurbished historic Uhuru Gardens. We can see the photograph there. That's what's being done. At the top of the paper, we have Independent, Fresh, and of course, Star, Independent, Fresh, and Different. They're letting us know it's the 1st of June 2020 and it's Wednesday. But on page 7, the economic forums, we're having here DP Ruto tells Treasury to quickly clear pending bills. My scorecard government in a big hurry to finalize legacy projects. We also see here still on the front page of The Star, Raila Odinga and Martha Karua in Tana River, and that's written by Emmanuel Wanson. Raila to make public 100-day plan next week. This is usually the most exciting part of getting into power. On page 7, Azimo presidential nominee Raila Odinga will unpack his plan for Kenya in the first 100 days in office. We look forward to seeing what plans he has for the people of Kenya. Health Ministry, third of youths in cities hooked on tobacco. A third of all youths in Kenya cities are hooked on tobacco and nicotine. And this is important coming off the fact that yesterday was no smoking day, no tobacco day. We did take that here on the show. And I wonder how many people were able to keep up to the no smoking deal that we had. That would be my final story. If you'd like to get the details of any of these stories, please grab a copy of The Star in Kenya. We're moving over to our next papers.
All right, let's move over to Uganda, where we have the New Vision papers and share with you what stories that we can find over there. There it says their best, worst performing districts. It says, of course, the local governments have been assessed on service delivery. You can find these on pages 4 and 5 of the New Vision. Also, Uganda at 60, how Uganda gave the world epithet. We can also find that on page 24. A very interesting story here on Professor Musoke, the doctor who used to sing to her infant patients. I remember a song. My mother used to.
Who sat and
I watched
watched
my infant head. Oh yeah, that's it. That's how you know 30 plus. Okay, Professor Musoke, the doctor who used to sing to her infant patients. That's also on the New Vision. Also on the papers this morning, medics to be jailed over data misuse. You can find that also on the New Vision newspapers this morning. All of them in the top stories in Uganda. Homeschool, we can see S1 physics and S2 biology. Kiwashili. I'm not sure what exactly that is about, but you can find more of those details on the New Vision newspapers. And also plastics sink environment into deeper crisis. And that's on page 26. Just to quickly remind everyone that climate change and its effects will, of course, get to Africa. And African countries also need to play their part.
It has gotten to.
But definitely.
The unfortunate thing is that we don't understand how bad it is, Osauge. It can take a plastic bottle 500 years to decompose. And then when it's done, it absorbs into the soil. The soil releases greenhouse gases. We're emitting gases that are harmful to the environment. The chemicals that have been absorbed into the soil are also harmful to the soil. And if you decide to throw it into the water, it breaks down into microplastics. The fish consume it. We consume this fish. So really, there's no way out with plastic. And we need to start taking preventive measures. In some parts of the country, of the continent, I mean, when I went to Namibia, they will tell you that if you want to shop, you want to buy plastic bags, they're more expensive. So when you're going shopping, you have to go with your own shopping kit. Here in Nigeria, that's something we need to imbibe, because you see people who buy, put my tissue in one bag, put my this in one bag. We need to start having important conversations about plastic and the dangers of plastic to the environment.
Oh, those are the big ones on the New Vision newspapers this morning in Uganda.
All right, let's bring it back to Nigeria on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Presidency search for strong consensus candidates. Buhari directs APC governors on page 2. He says the chosen one must be nationally acceptable, possess electoral value. In fact, he did say that the chosen one must be someone that gives Nigerians a sense of victory even before the polls. The president didn't disclose his favorite, says Nasarawa governor. Akeredolu backs consensus. APC governors in strategic meeting as Oyegun grills Oshibajo, Lawan, Bello, and others. Still on the front page of the Punch, on page 16, ex-Imo governor Okorocha gets bail, leaves EFCC custody. We did take the details of the story when they stormed into his apartment and arrested him. We played a video here and we've been following the updates on the story. On page 28, federal government sends 640 soldiers on peacekeeping duties amid insecurity. Okay, moving on. On page 8, we're helpless. Abducted train passengers. Families lament. This is a very rather heart-wrenching story. I cannot imagine what it feels like every day. This happened on the 28th of March, and we're in June. It's the 1st of June.
It's completely wild.
And we're seeing so much happening. It's just like the world has moved on. And these people have family members that are still in detention. I really do hope that the government speeds up whatever rescue efforts it's put in place to ensure that these people come home. Lagos International Airport runway lights collapse. Pilots warn fan on page 21. Osalge.
I mean, it's not shocking. You know, if we're being honest, these aren't shocking stories. These aren't. I mean, we've just spoken about, you know, people who are still in captivity after 60, 63 or 64 days now. So yeah, lights will collapse. It's no longer shocking. And you know, I hope that they have whatever safety precautions, you know, that need to be in place. If it needs to be fixed as soon as possible, it should be fixed.
All right, few more stories. Now, this one is very important, and I'm taking it because, of course, we all know about the Okada ban. On page 6, Okada ban begins today. Lagos deploys more boats. Osalge, this is a very interesting conversation because we haven't really explored our waterways. We're a coastal city. We have so much water. There's so much you can explore, but the thing is, how much adequate boats do we have? How safe is it to ply by water? Yes, we haven't had a lot of accidents, but do we? I mean, I hear people talk about, there's jet skiing in Lagos, there's all these water activities in Lagos, but they would not be willing to try it out because they are afraid that there might not be sufficient rescue efforts should there be an accident. So, but we need to explore more conversations in this regard. Final story: kidnappers showed us decomposing bodies. Church paid 100 million naira ransom. That's the update on the Methodist prelate story on pages 4 and 5. I don't know how to feel about that, but that's all that we can take this morning. Of course, we're bringing more updates as regards the newspaper at the top of the hour. But for now,